ECU?
Do you bleed purple and gold?
Are you ready to hoist the colors?
Hoist the colors!
It's time for the most in-depth look into the world of ECU athletics. Welcome to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
Watch the show live on Facebook
and at 943thegame.com. Here's Stephen Igo.
We're one day out from East Carolina taking on Coastal Carolina on a Football Friday edition of the program. Welcome into Hoist the Colors, live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Also available on Apple Podcast and Spotify, as well as the IBX Media app. Got a lot to discuss. We're going to talk a lot about East Carolina, Coastal Carolina, make those picks, those predictions, dive into the matchup here later in this segment. We'll also make our NFL and college picks, as we do every Friday, because we have Bobby Harward in studio, brought to you by Basil's today. Eat local, drink local. Check them out by the AMC Movie Theater on Fire Tower. Bobby, how you doing on this fine Friday? We just saw you last night.
We did. Yeah, got together to watch the Commanders take an L last night, get beat up pretty good by the Packers, but appreciate y'all coming over and enjoying the misery with me. My question for you is, did you stay up and make the Mariners game?
Dude, yes, and I'm paying for it.
Oof.
13 innings on Wednesday night, 12 innings last night. Now, thankfully, they did win both games. They have won 6 in a row. They're tied for the Astros for first place in the AL West. And it's one of those things, like, I've tried to go to sleep. Last night, what time did we leave? A little after 11?
Yeah,
probably?
a little after 11.
And when I got home, it was like 5th inning, so I turned on the game. I'm, like, trying to go to sleep, but, like, I can't because I need to know what the result of the game is going to be. So I went to bed during, like, the 10th inning once I went to extra innings, but I'm, like, laying there tossing and turning. And it's like I'm so invested in it that I can't go to sleep. My wife's like, just wake up and see the score in the morning. It's not going to change. And I'm like, yeah, but I need to know what's happening. So I also saw something I've never seen in a baseball game last night I want to talk to y'all about. But they did win, so I'm dragging, but we're here. And football's almost here as well, so we'll make it through it. We're surviving.
My question is, do you put it on like the big TV or are you watching on your phone? Like, is Erica good with you watching, like coming in late when she's already asleep?
She would not be, but luckily she's a deep sleeper.
Okay.
And so I cut it on the TV. Now, last night when I went to extras, it was like midnight, maybe even after that. Yeah, well after that. And then I cut it on the phone in bed, and she was out. She didn't notice it, so she was fine. But yeah, West Coast baseball. It's a blessing and a curse. Philip, how you doing back there, man?
I'm good. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night either. Just got in bed a little later than I wanted to, but it was worth it to hang out with you guys. But got a cup of coffee in this morning. I'm good, ready to go, ready for a big Pirate weekend, and I'll probably have to watch.
Wedding.
Yeah, ready for the wedding. I'm probably gonna have to watch the game Sunday morning, I guess. Like I'll keep up with it, but to actually be able to come on the show and openly talk about what happened, I'm probably gonna have to get back Sunday morning and watch it before NFL. So. Is what it is, but it'll be an early Sunday morning.
Good luck with that on ESPN Plus. We were talking about that last night. It's just so hard to watch replays on ESPN Plus.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby, when I got there last night, you were talking about watching like replays of NFL games. Where are you getting the replays of the NFL games?
So YouTube TV. Essentially, the way we do it, my parents get YouTube TV, and then like Brittany and I contribute by getting some of the subscriptions to like Peacock, Apple, and that sort of thing. So,
oh my goodness, they're listening. You shouldn't have admitted this on air.
Yeah, you're right. We're gonna get. I'm gonna go home tonight, and everything's gonna be shut down.
So, but anyway, so YouTube, when you have the Sunday ticket, it allows you to go back and watch games on demand. Is the answer to my question?
Yes, and like the Panthers, which I go back and watch the Panthers games. It's local network, so that's automatically there. But yeah, my brother and my dad pay for a Sunday ticket.
Okay.
So I promise we'll talk football in a little bit, but I did want to ask if y'all have ever seen this before. By the way, shout out ECU women's soccer. They got their first conference win last night over Tulsa, 2-0. Had to mention that. I saw it on my feed. All right, so baseball game. Mariners are playing the Angels. Easy stolen base of second. You know, we've heard of batter's interference when the guy's stealing. Let's say the hitter swings and falls over the plate. And if he disrupts the catcher, obviously you got to go back to first or you're out, depending on what the situation is. In this particular instance, the catcher came up to throw. He hit the umpire in the face, and it was umpire's interference, and the runner had to go back to first base. Have y'all ever seen that before?
I didn't know umpire interference was a
Yeah,
thing.
like they called it a dead ball, and he had to go back to first base. And
So he wasn't out, but he wasn't safe.
yeah, it was basically just like the pitch counted, but he was not able to steal the base.
Because I thought umpires were part of the field of play in the
Because usually
sense.
when the ball hits him, yeah.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I've watched a lot of baseball, never seen this before. Umpire was just like, my bad, it's on me. And like even the other umpires were confused. So, but yeah, apparently that's a thing. So you that's why you always go to the ballpark or you stay up past midnight to watch baseball. You see something you've never seen before. All right, Cameron's in the chat. He says lots of pirate decals on cars on the road while heading to Myrtle Beach currently. Yeah, I'm expecting a big ECU turnout tomorrow. It'll be a 7:30 kickoff. East Carolina, Coastal Carolina. Philip and I talked about it quite a bit yesterday. Bobby, how are you feeling heading into this game?
I feel good from the perspective how poor Coastal has looked. So from a win-loss perspective, I feel pretty confident about the Pirates. But that being said, this is one of those environments that's not going to be easy to play in. I think just because I don't know what the capacity of the stadium is, but I know it's not a lot.
20,000, 22,000 around there, but they're expecting more than that, I think.
Okay. And, I mean, it will help. I guess it'll be probably pretty similar to Old Dominion, I guess, would be a good comp. And so, obviously, up there, we've had some tight ball games and expecting something similar here. A few things that I'm looking for, as I mentioned, I wasn't able to watch really a lot of the Campbell game outside of like a drive or two. And I just did not see the push off the line of scrimmage from the offensive line I was hoping to see. I want to see that improve. I want to see them have success in the run game, build that confidence heading into BYU. And then this is, Coastal's offense has not been world beaters by any means, but from a schematic standpoint, I think this is going to be a really good test for our secondary.
I don't care how you win this game. Just find a way to get out of there with a W is my thing. I expect Coastal's best shot. I think after watching them on tape, they're better than what the score has indicated, especially defensively. If ECU goes down there and turns the ball over or just plays sloppy, this will very much be a dogfight. Coastal has some athletes. So the quarterback play on their end is shaky, and that will give me confidence in picking ECU to win the game, but I would not be surprised if this is much more of a dogfight than people expect. If ECU goes down there and executes, I could see them winning comfortably. Speaking of course, they're asked, what do you guys think we will see from the Pirates tomorrow night, a close game or complete dominance? I mean, we'll make our official picks next segment. I can't really recall, but so many times ECU has gone on the road and just won in complete dominant fashion.
Yeah, that's my thing. I could I see it in my head being a really, really close battle, especially for three quarters. And then I could see, in just a little teaser, maybe a late touchdown to kind of push us over that spread and give us that two-score lead to victory. But I think it's going to be a dogfight.
I mean, how many people last year going to Charlotte thought ECU was going to go in there and roll, and look what happened. So, I mean, you just never know in college football. I do think this is a much different team with a much more confident level of, play from the top down, but we'll see. I don't know, Philip, we're 24 hours out. Complete dominance or close game? How are you leaning?
Neither. And I'm not trying to cop out, as I feel like it's one of those games where ECU controls it, and you always feel like Coastal is chasing, and there's a chance that they could win it, but you kind of know, when you look back on it, it's like, yeah, ECU had it the whole time, but still, you never felt like they were fully in control and fully dominating the game. It was just one of those things where it felt like every time Coastal kind of got close, they pulled away. So in basketball terms, those games that just fluctuate between 6 and 12-point leads, I think it's going to be one of those, we're up by 10, we're up by 3, we're up by 10, we're up by 3.
Drew wants to know the status of Xavier McIver, ECU defensive tackle. We wrote this last week, Drew, but he had meniscus surgery to clean up a minor injury. I mean, it's not a minor injury, minor tear, I should say. They're expecting him back mid-season. Tulane probably seems most likely, although you never know with injuries, especially for a big guy like that. And somebody want to know an injury update on DeCirio Riles. So we only get Monday right now to view practice. And basically that's their light. They take Sunday off, and then they come back Monday. It's their light day. And he was out there jogging around, but off to the side doing some stuff. So I would say, look, I don't have any inside information. I'll be honest with the Sirio. I would say probably questionable to probable based on how he was moving, but don't know if he'll be 100%. So I do wonder how many snaps he takes on Saturday. Robert says, will ECU use Mike Wright as a running quarterback versus or run Hauser more? Do you want to see any quarterback run game, Bobby?
No, I just want to see running back run game be successful to start it out. It does seem like those, even against Campbell, our little gadget runs and stuff have been sniffed out. So really, I think they just need to focus on getting push at the line of scrimmage and having success in the running back run game. Then all that secondary run stuff can come after it.
Brandon Ives going off that says, do you expect the run game to pick up, or are you skeptical? I think we're all skeptical at this point. Look, I don't think this is a bad run game. I mean, it's just okay right now. And it's one of those things where
I'd categorize it as bad, to be honest
with
you.
So?
I think just comparing against the opponents, because as I mentioned last night when we were hanging, like against NC State, what concerned me even more was UVA gashed them in the run game. Granted, UVA is playing ACC caliber athletes, but they're not projected to be the top half of an ACC team. And the fact they gashed State in the run game and had so much success, we didn't watch the Wake Forest game closely, but it looks like, they were moving the football on them too. And then against Campbell, just the lack of push on the line of scrimmage concerns me.
Yeah, Kenny saying this is the game our running back shine. The running backs are going to have to do something. You're going to have to do something in the run game this game, because we talked about it yesterday. Coastal, for the most part, they will sit back and play coverage, and they will play their 3 safety look. And if you cannot keep them honest with the run game, it's going to be that much tighter to throw the football. So I'm just telling you guys, ECU comes out running the football and throwing the horizontal passing game, like there's a reason for it. I know it's frustrating. If you're getting 3 to 5 yards on those early in the game, I'm fine with it. If you're losing a bunch of yards, getting no gains on those, that's when I'm going to be concerned with this offense.
Yeah, and I think they're going to try to get that drop-down safety that y'all were mentioning, trying to get him just running left and right and chasing everything and really wear him out. Don't be surprised if we struggle early in the run game, just like the first series or so, because it's going to be tough for them to ID those fronts. It's an unusual defense. I know we saw it with ODU, but it's still a little bit unique in the sense of who they're IDing and that sort of thing. So it may take them a little bit to get a groove there. And, their game planning should give them an idea, but still, until you see it live and see people moving around, it makes it a little tough.
Philip, do we see, going back to Robert's question, like the Mike Wright package, I think I'm going to give it a few more weeks to really say, like, all right, is this going to be like an actual part of the offense, or is it just going to be kind of something we talked about that never came to fruition? I don't know. Like, I'm willing to give it a few more weeks. It feels like we haven't really even seen it. We've seen it attempted to click, but not even really like a concerted effort.
No, I don't think we've even really seen it. Like, what I consider the Mike Wright package would be him actually lining up in the backfield, whether it's next to Caton or whether it's, Caton's out wide or Caton's not on the field. They've used him more as a slot receiver role. Yes, not a traditional slot receiver where he's running, the shallow cross on an air raid type concept or something. But there has been some stuff behind the line of scrimmage, but it's no different than what, Bobby's Commanders or the 49ers formerly ran with Debo. And obviously Debo did more than what Mike Wright's doing, but those are Debo Samuel type plays. I think we know he's going to do that, but that is, to me, that's not really a Mike Wright package. A lot of that stuff is in most college offenses anyways. It's just a matter of whether or not you actually run it, but it's all that stuff's installed anyways. They're just putting him in that slot receiver position. I think for us to feel like we're seeing a Mike Wright package again, that'll be, 3rd or 4th and short, goal-to-go situations, and he will be in the backfield kind of thing. So, it's one of those things you're probably not going to see it till conference play. You might see it this week, might see it against BYU, but they were struggling too much to run the ball the first week. Last week was an FCS school. You just don't want to put too much on tape. In a game, you win by 53 points.
In a game like this where you're probably going to have to run it, I do wonder if you're just struggling, maybe you insert it. And look, you're probably going to get zone read if you're Coastal when he comes to the game, but at the same time, like if you're ECU, you're putting the edge defender in conflict. You're making them account for another player in the run game. So if you're struggling to run it with your backs, maybe at some point you go to that in this game. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe see a little bit of the JMU. Is that who used the two quarterbacks in the backfield together? And, I still am willing to bet we see a lot of the horizontal passing that you're talking about. I think that's going to be their go-to and trying to get them move, kind of replace the run game if it's struggling.
ECU has scored 3 times on the speed option already through 2 games. Drew says maybe do that more. I would say, I mean, look, if it works, go to it. But, I mean, that's going to be well scouted at this point. Yeah, and part of what brings the speed option success is in the red zone when everything is more condensed and you're more likely to get man-to-man coverage. That allows you to pitch it off the end line of scrimmage. You're then relying on normally somebody in the box being responsible for the running back, which is very difficult. So in the open field, maybe not as effective, but I could see it as kind of a throw them off type deal and maybe run it, and would love to perfect time opportunity for Caton to do the little fake pitch and keep it. I was gonna say, can you run like a passing concept off that look? I guess it'd be kind of hard to pull off. You'd have to just make sure it's protected well. I don't know.
The tough thing is the ineligible man downfield situation.
Yeah.
Can you? Yes. You can have what you could do is you could do a 3-by-1 set, and you'd run the speed option that side. You'd hope for like a box coverage on the opposite side, and you'd be man-to-man on the play side and have a slant route with it. The tough thing is, with it being blocked, it has to still kind of be blocked like a run play, and your likelihood of especially that tackle who's going to possibly work, I guess he'll hit the end and bring him in. He won't work up to the linebacker, but still the likelihood of somebody from that play side getting illegally down the field is going to be really hard to prevent.
So something to think about, just because, look, if our commenters are pointing out how well it's working, then we know that Coastal Carolina's defensive coordinator is going to be, hey, when they get inside the 10-yard line especially, we've seen ECU score on it now 3 times in 2 games, look for this play. Even Dave Dorn was like, they're either going to run speed option or the play to the tight end. So, I mean, like,
flat.
It's one of those things where, and look, if you're really good at it, and like you said, you're still putting that defender in conflict, Caton can keep the ball. If you block it up well, then it's still not easy to stop. I mean, Navy runs the option every play. Everybody knows it's coming, and it's at times unstoppable. So,
did they do any quick pitch stuff against Campbell? I know they didn't really run that against State, but that's another kind of similar concept. But yeah.
I remember, maybe one, but not too many quick pitches out of the, you talking about the outside
like the
zone.
quick toss.
Yeah. I haven't really seen that. We saw it a lot last year early on. So, all right, we'll keep an eye on it. Run game important this weekend. There's some of I got more X's and O's of Coastal Carolina, hoistthecolors.net. Check that out, and you can see it online. Kenny adding would love for Smith and Smith to get going this week. We know that Ball and Spalding will show up. I think this is another Spalding game with them playing a lot of deep coverage. Look for DeBrock to make some plays underneath. Maybe Yannick as well. It's going to be tough for Anthony to get over that top, but you never know. You can catch him in the right coverage, and UVA was able to hit some deep balls as well in tight windows. All right, let's get a break in. We'll come back. We will make our pick for this game, our official prediction, other college games as well. We'll also address more of your questions in the chat, too. This is Hoist the Colors on a Football Friday.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers does real burgers better than anybody. And don't forget about the cheese sticks, fresh salads, and more. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, burgers and sports at its best.
Go Pirates! Arg!
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation from a real person? Right. That's what's so nice about Phelps Chevrolet. After more than 50 years serving our community, Phelps remains family-owned and operated. Mike, Daryl, Wave, West, Allen, and Clay deliver hometown service and integrity, same as always. They share your experience, they share your values, and they are ready to help with any motoring need. Come get you one.
Climb aboard as we set sail and hoist the colors.
Ahar, matey!
Back to the show with Steve and I go on 94.3 The Game.
All right, we were talking about could you run a passing play off the speed option concept. ECU did this in the Military Bowl last year. I found it during the break. Bobby Howard with us, brought to you by Basil's, and Philip Pilkington behind the screen. So they got trips. They got the 3 receivers out wide, and Casey Kelly, the tight end, in line, like kind of off the line of scrimmage. They run the speed option concept. Kelly leaks out, and there's a small opening. Hauser tried to throw it to him, but kind of misfired. But you can run a passing concept.
You can. That was tight.
Yeah,
that was
super
a tight window. And yeah, it was 5 strong. And normally you'll hear 4 strong, but essentially, 3 receivers out wide in a bunch. The tight end to the same side and the back to the same side.
Yeah. And no linemen were downfield. They did a good job of
That's
blocking.
also one of those that you could only legally run in high school and college. You can't even legally line up in that formation in the NFL.
Correct, yeah.
There you guys go. X's and O's, breaking it down. I enjoy this stuff. Somebody asked, why aren't we getting coordinator press conferences anymore? That was the decision they made preseason, Rohan, and to this point we have not gotten any coordinator access. We only get Blake Harrell on Monday along with 2 players, so it is what it is. It is kind of frustrating from a media perspective, but not much we can do about it.
I wonder if it's from Blake's experience moving directly from that coordinator role to the head coach role, being like, man, I hated these press conferences. I'm going to save y'all from.
I mean, it may be something to it. I mean, I'm hoping we get him like maybe during a bye, just like for a midseason update.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Blake. Love hearing from the players, but it's just always good to get that coordinator insight. All right, let's make some picks. Kenny Curlins is calling ECU to win 44-0.
Wow.
If that happens, then I think all of Greenville is going to be partying. Let's start with ECU Coastal. We'll just go ahead and make this pick.
All right.
ECU 7.5 is the spread. A lot of money coming in on the Pirates at Coastal Carolina. If it will influence your decision, I have confirmed that American Conference officials will be calling this football game.
Wah, wah.
I don't know if that moves the tally in Coastal. They didn't help out ECU much at NC State, I can tell you that much. I'm just going to go Pirates here. I think 7.5. They're kind of begging you to take Coastal on the line, but I just think ECU is a better team. And I think this will be a closer game than people think, but give me the Pirates to end up covering.
I'm with you. Kind of said it last segment. I'm expecting a close game, but ECU creating the 2-score lead there late in the second half, whether that's in the fourth quarter or whatnot, but probably winning within the 10 to 14 range.
Ditto.
So we're all on the Pirates. A lot of people on the Pirates, and hopefully it comes to fruition. Clemson is a 3-point favorite going to Georgia Tech. I've been going back and forth on this game a lot. I made up my mind this morning, and I kind of like the reasoning for it. I'll let y'all make y'all's picks first.
No, I want to hear it.
No, you
want to hear it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Clemson, you think about it. All right, so, like, there's a wide range of outcomes this game could have. But, like, is there really a range of an outcome that you would expect Georgia Tech to blow Clemson out? I don't think so. Whereas, like, Clemson's probably the better, more talented team. We know Georgia Tech can run the ball. If Clemson just plays like Clemson, which, look, is far from an easy thing, they could easily win this game 7 to 14 points. To get Clemson -3 on the road at Georgia Tech, I know Georgia Tech's good. I like Georgia Tech. Haynes King's been beat up. I just think your chances of Clemson covering this number are pretty high compared to Georgia Tech winning, so I'm going Clemson on the road. And I'm going to give Dabo one last shot. If they lose this game, I'm officially done with Dabo Swinney. Officially. But I'm on Clemson.
I think your rationale is sound. Clemson is no doubt a superior football team. This is just one of those games that, Brent Key just wins.
He gets them going.
Those ACC-ranked opponents, now they're at home. The other thing, if Clemson's offense looked better last week against Troy, I would probably be leaning Tigers. But I think there's some fundamental issues with that offense right now, and they're struggling, and Georgia Tech is good enough to hold their own and go punch for punch with them. So give me the Yellow Jackets.
I'm going to take Clemson. I think we have not seen their best football yet. I think they're going to bounce back, finally play a good football game, and they know that if they can win this game, they don't have to worry for a little while. You got Syracuse at home. They go to Chapel Hill, go to Boston College. Like, things are going to get easier for them if they can just get past this game. I think they know that. I think all the focus is here, so I'm going to go Clemson.
Speaking of, how pissed is ESPN about how bad the Heels have looked? That Clemson-UNC matchup they were trying to hype up early in the season, and that's going to be a dud.
They probably would have wanted to send game day there. They may still do it.
They might.
And get Jordan on as the guest picker.
Oh, Lord.
Georgia.
Wait, which Jordan are we talking about?
Both of them.
I was going to say, because one of them I wouldn't mind, but the other one, please don't put her on there.
Georgia is a 4-point favorite at Tennessee. This is another one I've been going back and forth on. I just don't know, like, how good is this Tennessee team? How good is Georgia? I know they've looked shaky, but, like, I feel like Kirby Smart in these FCS and early season games just doesn't really throw the full book out there. I think Georgia typically plays well against Tennessee, and they typically play well against these types of offenses with this defensive personnel. So give me the Dogs on the road. Wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee starts fast and then Georgia just proves to be a better football team. I'll go Georgia -4.
I agree 100%. Yeah, I think Georgia's, Tennessee, I'm unsure how good this offense is. I know it looked, solid early on, but I'm still not a full believer in Aguilar yet. I think he's really good, don't get me wrong, but just seeing him in one of these games is a little bit different.
Yeah, my other worry, too, not that Georgia's going to pick any defense apart, surely, but Tennessee is missing their starting cornerbacks in this game. And, just early in the season, haven't had a lot of reps, not a lot of opportunity. They're not going to, pass guys off well in zones as well as guys who have been out on the field. So I'm going to take Georgia.
USF at Miami. Can they do it again? They've beaten Boise. They've beaten Florida. They are 17.5-point dogs at Miami. This is the game I think Miami wins. I think the magic runs out. But, 17.5, that's a lot to cover. I mean, I could see South Florida scoring late to cover this backdoor, but I'm going to go Hurricanes. I put some money on Miami first half. I got it at 9.5. I feel good about that. I don't feel as good about 17.5 for the game. But I am going to go Miami here. I just think it's a lot to ask USF to do it 3 weeks in a row.
17.5 is a ton.
Yeah,
and so I'm going to go the Bulls here. I know they had a good win against a good Notre Dame team, but I believe they had an FCS opponent last week or a really low-level FBS opponent that they took care of. So I'm still not on the Miami hype train. I know they're number 5 in the country. I think the Bulls are kind of feeling a little disrespected. I mean, think about our time at when ECU's going to NC State like this year, and to Carolina and to Virginia Tech and some of those opponents where they feel underappreciated. I think there's going to be a dogfight, but I do see Miami kind of pulling away to a 2-score win, just not a 3-score win.
Well, Steve and I will tell you that Miami is famous for their milkshakes. So humble pie will not be served well. Humble milkshakes will be served well for the Bulls. Give me the Hurricanes by 3 touchdowns.
The best milkshakes in the world. You can find them at the Miami baseball game. Maybe they sell it at football too.
I think they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like Miami Marlins?
The Miami Hurricanes, baby. You got to experience it, man. You got to find out for yourself.
You got to stand in line as a media member with your milkshake.
Yeah, that's our voucher. Hey, enjoy your food for today. It's a milkshake. Thanks. Texas A&M at Notre Dame. Notre Dame is a 6.5-point favorite. They had a bye last week. Is that right?
Yeah, it was really weird. This 6.5 is weird too. I feel like it should be more like 3.5.
Yeah, I mean A&M. I'm not a big Marcel Reed fan. You know what? Just give me the Irish here. I mean, 6.5 is a lot for this game, but I just don't know if Texas A&M is any good.
I think the bye week is going to help C.J. Carr in that offense for the Irish, but still, Mike Elko is a defensive coach. Yeah. He's a defensive background. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game, and I think it's going to be tight. I think the Irish win, but the Aggies cover.
Yeah, I think Elko's a little disappointed he didn't beat A&M 2 years ago when he was at Duke. They were very much in that football game, ended up losing by a touchdown. I think he's out for some revenge. I don't know if he wins it, but I think they can keep it within a score. So give me the Aggies.
What time is this game?
A late night. This is another 7:30. Like all the ball games I want to watch on Saturday are at the same time, right overlapping with ECU.
So I had trouble picking a final game because there are so many good night games. I thought about South Carolina and Vandy. There was another couple that I had on the docket as well. I ended up going with Duke and Tulane. And you ask, why in the world would you pick Duke and Tulane? Well, it's a revenge game. You guys know I love a revenge game. Darion Menza going back to New Orleans. He just left them for millions of dollars. And look, the team he left is now favored against the team he got paid to play for. John Summerall is going to have the boys ready. He talked about Northwestern disrespecting the city of New Orleans. Well, Darion Menza did the same thing when he walked out on the Green Wave. Tulane by 3 touchdowns.
Summerall can talk all that crap he wants about the Northwestern Wildcats, but these Duke Blue Devils are light years ahead of the Wildcat program. Mensa and the Blue Devils go in, take care of business, win by 2 scores.
Duke should have beat Illinois last week. They just shot themselves in the foot. Good teams are not going to make the same mistakes 2 weeks in a row. I'm with Bobby. Give me the Blue Devils,
Yeah,
baby.
good luck with that, fellas.
Well, he should be saying that. If we want to look at the standings here after 2 weeks of play,
what is our standings update?
Going into last night, Igo was 17-8. Bobby and I were both 13-12. However, we did pick last night's game due to we don't always pick the Thursday night game, but we do always pick the teams of the 3 people on the show. Obviously, Bobby is a Commanders fan, so we did pick the game last night. I went with the Packers, and both those guys went with Washington. So Igo still in the lead, but falls to 17-9. I improved to 14-12, and Bobby is now sitting at 500 at 13-13.
Disappointing all around.
Disappointing night, but hey, when you can watch a loss with your friends, it makes it that much easier.
That's right. I enjoyed it.
Terry Long, this will not go on the sheet, but he says, will any of us take UNC 21.5 over Richmond? I will not.
I mean, I'm not going to put money on it, but if you're asking me to take the spread, I think they like falsely look like they've got it together. And Richmond's not the Richmond of like 2010.
They're 1-1 with a 21-14 loss to apparently ranked Lehigh. Didn't know Lehigh was good at the FCS level. And then Wofford, they beat 14-10.
Yeah, I think Carolina can exceed the 3 touchdowns.
I do too.
All right, there you go. There's your unofficial UNC Richmond pick against the spread, thanks to Terry Long's contribution in the chat. All right, we'll get a break in. We'll pick NFL next. This is Hoist the Colors.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human. About creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leyva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you Farm to Fork Beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to Fork Beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown. At National Finance, we're all about hometown support, just like ECU football. National Finance helps us win on and off the field. They've got your back when you need it most. Fast, easy personal loans for life's big plays. And just like us, they're committed to Eastern North Carolina. National Finance, proud supporters of ECU Athletics. Visit nfcmoney.com for loans as fast as today.
Back in, hoist the colors on a Friday. We got Bobby Harwood hanging out, brought to you by Basil's. Great lunch spot, great dinner as well. Tremendous sandwiches, salads, pizza, and more. Check out Basil's over by the AMC Movie Theater on Fire Tower Road. Thanks to their support of the program. We got Bobby Harwood, Philip Pilkington, and Terry wants you to know, Bobby, that your Hornets hat is sick. We also did have somebody say, go Hornets. So there are still Hornets fans out there.
There's others. There's others.
A handful, but, you know.
It's very
enough.
Here's the thing. If they ever get good again.
They do have just sick colors and scheme and everything.
I mean, that fan base in Charlotte is just waiting to erupt, but unfortunately, it's the Panthers and the Hornets who've just been abysmal recently. But if they're ever good, that place is going to be awesome to watch a game.
You know, it was interesting. We were talking last night about, like, you know, Bobby, you were, when we were hanging out, about the 5 teams that were considered true America's teams right now, where everybody's pulling for them. I feel like the Hornets are one of those. If they got good, like, there's random people across the country like, yeah, I'm bought into this. The way everybody was kind of bought into Buffalo the first time they made the playoffs again back in 2017 with Nathan Peterman and Tyrod Taylor, like, I think it'd be the same feel here.
Yeah, I was actually, you know, it's funny you say that because I was actually thinking the Hornets were going to be on the list, especially after your Mariners were on. I was like, oh, man, like, yeah, the nation would love to see the Hornets be good again. Starter jackets will become a trend again.
It is tough to beat the purple and teal, man. It's a sick look. NFL, we got together. We watched your Commanders last night, and I know Philip mentioned he got the game right. We got it wrong. Your boys just they just looked out of it. I mean, Packers are good, and they got behind early and just kind of felt like they could never quite catch up.
Yeah, it looked a lot like the Pirate Wolfpack game the first half is what it looked like. The Packers just dominated the line of scrimmage on both sides. The offense has been really out of sync both week 1 and 2. They're professional, so I don't think it's necessarily Terry being out. I don't know how big of a deal that was with him holding out over the summer. I'm wondering if, because we talked about all last season, when is Cliff Kingsbury's offense going to regress? And that's what I'm wondering is happening now. And they've kind of got that offense figured out, and Kingsbury needs to make adjustments.
We should know, and we should say, I mean, the short weekend, the Packers are good.
Yeah.
And you have week 1. A lot of people look rusty. So we'll see, but they haven't looked great. And neither have my Denver Broncos, which we'll talk about here in a minute, and neither have the Panthers, which we'll also talk about. Speaking of the Panthers, let's make some NFL picks. Panthers are at the Cardinals. The Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals, guys, are 6.5-point favorites. I know they're playing the Panthers. I don't really care. If I'm getting 6.5 points, anybody against the Cardinals, I'm going to take it. And I honestly kind of like the Panthers in this spot. I'll give more reason later, but usually when a team plays just pretty bad, they usually come out motivated the next week in the NFL. I'm expecting a closer game here. Panthers on the road.
Well, and I wonder, too, how much, the Panthers were kind of the darling team in the media of maybe a sneaky wild card, and I wonder if they felt that pressure in any way, shape, or form. I'm actually going to I think that Cardinals backdoor cover here. I think it's tight, and then they hit a late field goal, score late to cover the spread. I do think it's going to be much better looking on the Panthers front than how they looked against the Jaguars, but that run game scares me against the Panthers run D.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from there, but after playing that bad last week, I would think they would just find a way to keep it within one score. Give me 27-24 Arizona, so I'll take the Panthers to cover.
The Denver Broncos are at the Indianapolis Colts. Broncos opened as a 3-point favorite. The line is now down to 1.5. Indianapolis scored on every single possession for the first time in like 50 years for an NFL team. I think they played so well, Denver played so bad, and they won at Tennessee. Still, because Tennessee is horrific, but I think Denver, I don't love going to Indianapolis, but I think Denver shows they're the better team here, and they get the road W. So I'm going to go Broncos on the road. Bo leave. He won't throw stupid passes this week. That's what I believe.
I wonder if the Daniel Jones hype train continues. That's what I'm curious about. I think that Colts roster is really good. Mr. Bo not looking so hot last week concerns me. I think you bring a valid point. Colts, that's maybe the best game they play all year. Broncos struggled against the Titans, but I'm going to go home team here. Give me the fighting McAfees.
It seems ever since, I don't remember if it started in the 2015 season or it started the year before in 2014, that Denver has a game. Even when they're bad, they still have a game the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season. They have no business losing, that they mess up and lose for no reason. I think that's this week, unfortunately.
But was that game last week and they still won?
No. I think it's going to be one of those where you won a game you had no business winning last week. You lose this week. Everybody's ready to burn the city down, and then you bounce back, and you look back and we look back in mid-November, just laugh at how bad the first 2 weeks are and how much they've turned it around since.
That could very well happen. Denver's still one of the youngest teams in the league. Last year they started 0-2. Everybody wrote them off, and they ended up being pretty good. So we'll see. Eagles at the Chiefs. Eagles are a road favorite. And, again, I'm a big fan of the bounce back. You got revenge game, multiple factors here. You just lost in the Super Bowl. You look terrible week 1. You're returning home. Eagles are feeling good about themselves after winning the season opener over rival Dallas. Chiefs at home, man. Chiefs as a home dog, I'll take it every day of the week.
Yeah, I think they feel disrespected being an underdog at home. I know they got – last time they played each other, the Eagles took care of business pretty handily, but they can't go 0-2. Andy Reid's not going to go 0-2. Give me the Chiefs.
When there's a Super Bowl rematch played from the previous year, the winner of the Super Bowl is 7-2 in the rematch. Make it 7-3. Kansas City start 0-2.
Such a random stat, but I like it. Buccaneers at Texans. We're gonna pick both. Honestly, the NFL slate in the 1 o'clock window is lacking. So everything I'm picking is 4.
You have the 3-4 o'clock games and the two Monday night games. Thank God you didn't put the Sunday night game on here. I might take a nap during Falcons Vikings. Sorry, Dom.
Hey, I'm intrigued by that matchup, to be honest. I want to see if JJ can.
Why are the Vikings opening in prime time the first 2 weeks, though? What's up with that?
That is weird. Yeah, but I'm with Bobby with, like, I guess it is intriguing with JJ, but, like, why didn't they get back-to-back night games like week 7, week 8 once the dudes had some weeks to start?
Yeah, and I guess they're playing that quarterback draft class against each other again because Penix and McCarthy. We'll see.
Yeah.
Buccaneers are at the Texans. I think this has the potential to be an awesome game.
6 p.m. kick in Houston on a Monday night.
6 p.m. kick. Gosh, maybe not. But I like these two offenses. I like these two quarterbacks. Texans are favored by 2.5. I'm just going to go with the home team here. I feel like Tampa has a better defense, but I do just like Houston at home. I'm going to go Texans to win and cover the 2.5.
Give me the Nears. I don't think Texans offense can hang with Tampa. They obviously replaced their offensive coordinator going into this year and did not look good against the L.A. Rams. I almost said St. Louis. And scored 9 points. I think the Buccaneers' defense is solid, and they can put up points as we saw last week. Got a ton of weapons for Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, everything tells you to pick Tampa. Everything Bobby said is true, but I think Houston's the favorite to win this division. They looked so sloppy last week. I just don't see them starting 0-2, especially at home. Prime time, I guess. Middle of the afternoon on a Monday, but yeah, I'm going to go Houston.
Chargers at the Raiders, 2 1-0 AFC West teams going at it in the nightcap of the Monday night doubleheader. Chargers are favored by 3. This is a weird spot. Chargers in this spot as a favorite on the road typically don't do well. But we're not used to the Raiders doing well in the spot either, coming off a nice win.
The tough thing is the Raiders sometimes, and I'm just throwing this out there. It's not rolling out. When there's back in the day when they used to do a doubleheader first week like this, it seems like the Raiders always had the last game.
They would always
find a way to win.
Chargers,
They would always put the Broncos or Chargers and win. And it was like that was back in the day when it was like the Broncos and Chargers fighting for the division. The Raiders were dog water, and the Chiefs were 500, and the Raiders would still win that game.
That was also the Oakland Raiders, though, not the.
That's true.
Are there going to be fans at this game? Like this
Vegas?
So
you don't have Charger fans.
No, all the people from L.A. who are Raider fans will drive from L.A. to Vegas, like Ice Cube and people like that.
So you have like actual Raider fans.
Yeah, Raider fans from L.A.
Okay.
Yeah, real Raider fans.
Give me the Raiders at home. I just got a gut feeling.
Well, Raiders played the Patriots last week in New England. It's not the way there, as we learned last year. It's the way back.
But
the way back from Brazil?
Oh, yeah.
Now, they do have an extra 2 days of rest. It was Friday to a Monday, so you got 10 days.
Both teams lose.
0-0 tie, Bobby's calling it.
Give me the Pete Carroll Raiders.
I kind of look. I don't like the Raiders as a Denver fan, but I kind of like the Pete Carroll Raiders.
Geno Smith slinging that thing.
Genty,
like they got a fun team.
Yeah,
tight end. So like, I will like them until they're actually a threat, and then I will be the hatred of the Raiders again.
Guys, this is the top 2 running backs right here out of this rookie class.
Yeah,
we got a Marion Hampton against Ashton Genty. The difference is, I can name wide receivers for the Chargers. I don't even know who the receivers are for the Raiders.
You got the guy who split
Jacoby
state.
Myers?
Yeah, Jacoby Myers. And after that, it's not a whole
Brock
lot.
Bowers.
Yeah, tight ends.
I like Ladd McConkey better. Give me the Chargers.
And there are your picks for the NFL. Brady Thomas adding that JJ versus Michael Penix is a national championship game quarterback rematch. Forgot
Good
about that.
job, Brady.
Good pull.
Brady is a ball knower.
He is.
And there he comes in the chat for some entertainment.
Brady, they need a ball knower at Oklahoma State.
Yeah, you're going to go coach
what
after
is going
Gundy gets
on?
fired in about 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's bad.
Then when they lose to Tulsa next Friday night and I go and I do a victory shot.
I did read, by the way, that the Tulsa quarterback got knocked out of the New Mexico State game.
Darn it, really?
That is the reason they lost and the reason our over pick took a hit. So tough beat on the Tulsa New Mexico State game. We'll keep it live. We still got 10 more games left. All right, we got to get a break in. We'll come back. We will wrap up the show after this.
Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human. About creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you farm to fork beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to fork beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown. At National Finance, we're all about hometown support, just like ECU football. National Finance helps us win on and off the field. They've got your back when you need it most. Fast, easy personal loans for life's big plays. And just like us, they're committed to Eastern North Carolina. National Finance, proud supporters of ECU Athletics. Visit nfcmoney.com for loans as fast as today.
Colors. Always enjoy looking at this after seeing that ECU NC State was one of the more expensive tickets in week one. Bobby Harvard is with us. Philip Pilkington, final segment. You can get it, you guys. There's like 4 or 5 games, FBS versus FCS, we can get into for less than $10. And watch New Mexico versus UCLA. You can do so for $8.
Surprised it's not cheaper than that with how many seats are in there.
Yeah. $9 will get you into the Rock at Southern Miss. You've been there, right?
Yep.
Roberts Stadium, App State, Southern Miss, big Sun Belt game. You can get in for as low as $9. Also, apparently, college football in California just does not mean more, because you can get in the Boston College Stanford for tickets as low as $9.
Dude, I feel like sports in California just doesn't. I mean, I know the Lakers. Yeah, Lakers and Dodgers, and that's it.
So some affordable games out there. Philip, you're going to a wedding this weekend. Obviously, Bobby and I were parents. You know, when we're not fully invested in our teams, we do our best to try to watch sports along with, keeping tabs on our children and wives. But I'm curious, what's your game plan for the wedding? Like, how are you gonna do this, man?
So the wedding is early. The wedding's at like 1. Because this church has mass at like 4:30, which I feel fine. I've been to way more Catholic weddings that they can still do like a 4 o'clock wedding because mass is not till like 6:30. And then there's a gap between. So some people from out of town are coming over to our place to watch football. And then we're gonna catch like the second and third quarter of a lot of. Well, I guess we'll catch actually the first half probably of all the 3:30 games, and then we'll go to the reception. And then they did say there's the main reception area, and then there's the lounge area out front, just like we first walked in the building. There's like a sitting area where the water fountain and the bathrooms are. And the ECU game is going to be on in there. So I think it's going to be one of those where, with the game starting at 7:30, I think it's going to be one of those where we might get out of there in time for like the fourth quarter. So
it doesn't sound like a bad wedding.
No,
as far as
I mean,
sport
like,
viewing.
obviously we got to like hit the dance floor. Like, we can't make the bride upset, right? Like, it's her wedding day. You know, we got to go out there. We got to have some fun with it. But also, like, she knows like people will be checking the ECU score. She's not like, oh my God, you're out there watching football. Like, she gets it. If it's a big moment in the game, as long as it's not like the bride and groom being introduced to their first dance or something, which will all happen before kickoff anyways. She's good.
So y'all are going to be football guys. Does that make the bride a football gal? If she's cool with football at her wedding, I mean, that's a.
She's not happy about it, I will say, but like
So no.
She understands it, I think, is what it comes down to. Like, she knew when she picked a fall wedding with some of the people that are going there, Philip, Davis, Cersei, Parker
Davis is there. You know the ECU game.
Yeah, like,
and Parker.
The game's gonna be on. Like, she wasn't getting away from that one.
All right, we're out of time. Grant Matthews says Bobby's looking extra handsome today. Appreciate you joining us, man.
Yep, thank you. Thank you for the kind comment, Little Nugget.
We will be back next week to talk about what happened with Coastal and also look ahead to BYU. We'll see you Monday, 12 noon on Hoist the Colors.
This has been Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo. Get a recap of this show at 943thegame.com and on your IBX Media app, on Twitter, Facebook, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Tune in weekdays at noon to get your ECU sports fix with Stephen Igo and Hoist the Colors on 94.3 The Game.
Hoist the Colors!